Hey guys, my name is Miller and welcome back to another video. This time discussing everything about a 2.13 update which should roll out on both platforms fully roughly next week. I will also be covering the American Roadtrip, which to many's confusion is not the Made in America event of this year, because it's going to be a big series which might spread over various updates in general, I think more of a quarterly thing, and I have a feeling it's already being labeled and perceived as a Made in America 4th of July celebration of 2020, which is not really fully the case. Let's start with the added season price cars. And there are only two, which to me indicates again it's going to be a short update of maybe 1 to 2 seasons. The two added season price cars are the Tier 4 Alfa Romeo 8C Spider, which seems to be a bit slower than the 8C Competizione with an expected 10.5 dyno, where the yellow spec that you see here will be the milestone version and the purple star will come in white, and then the other season price car being the McLaren GT, which to me is a bit more interesting, with the milestone spec coming out in blue and the season price coming in brown, which is the color in which the car was revealed in. Here you can expect to win yourself a pretty fast 7.8 car quite easily by reaching 20 million milestone crew points. About the order we do not know much yet, but I expect it to be McLaren first, as people were not really able to find much on the 8C yet. But if it sticks to only these two and there is no hidden cars in this update, expect another update within 3 weeks again. For the other cars then, let's continue with the series we already know, the Fast and Furious one, and finally we have it, Brian's Ford Escort Mark 1 RS1600. I've been waiting for this car for such a long time because I adore this small Escort Mexico so much, and it's finally here. I'm super happy. The other car also linked to the Fast and Furious franchise most likely is a 1970 Charger, for what seems to be the one from the 4th movie. I think like the Honda S2000 it's a case of being the same car but just being reused. Though I hope that this time, if it's a lock-in for a certain event, we can use both variants, the one from the first movie and the one from this one. But how these cars will be used I have no idea. It can go two ways. Either like the first event where it's only one new car, let's say in this case the 1970 Charger, and then you have to use it to win the other car being the Escort, like for example we had with the S2000 and winning the Jetta. Or is it going to be like the APR event where you have to use two new cars and a third car can be won? Now we don't see a third car yet, but that of course could be because we have such a short update, and in the next update the third car might come. Performance wise the Escort is very promising in Tier 4 with a 10.0 dyno, while the Charger seems to be a 7.3-ish car like the ICE Charger, but surprisingly faster than the other 1970 Charger we already have in game. My guess here is the Charger being the reward and the Escort being the purchasable car for that event, or maybe the other way around. Now onto something completely different, and Natural Motion has made some publicity a couple of days ago on their various platforms about the new main concept of this update, the American Roadtrip. To where my hunch was right, the New York Duality Cup is the start of a big trip from east to west, passing multiple car culture hotspots. If we go to the website CSR2AmericanRoadtrip.com, we see a map from the United States, with a nice route going from east to west, with some cities behind locks, starting in New York City and ending up in Los Derivas, where you pass cities such as Detroit, Indianapolis, Oklahoma, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and a lot more. And I presume that each stop will host an event in some way. We can't really see much from this website because it doesn't really interact with the locked cities, but seeing this small teaser here, there will be a lot to look out for example the new track for Phoenix. Also there are a lot of new cars with American muscle being the header all over the place. When going to the left bottom of the page we see a community milestone challenge again, where the objective this time is to share AR pictures or in-game pictures in general to hit milestones. And a third milestone showing a kind of puzzle here. I don't fully understand yet what is happening here, so I'll jump away from the website, which by the way has a cool test launch thing that moves into a video of the race with the new track, which is kinda cool. But anyways, let's talk a bit more about the picture we see here and the cars on there. So in this picture we see 5 cars chosen out of a big pool I presume to promote this series. With on the center the Ford Mustang RTR Stage 5, which looks stunning. But I think that upon hearing on how to win this car, some people might be disappointed and might just pull out completely, as it's a reward for another, you guessed it, Elite Customs collection, which will take another year plus to complete if they don't change anything about how Elite parts are won and how many are rewarded. This series, which is named Made in America, not to confuse with the name of the yearly 4th of July event, consists of another 10 cars, being the Cadillac CT-SV, the Camaro SS, the Tier 3 Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Viper GTS, the Ford Raptor, the Tier 3 Mustang, the Jeep Trackhawk, the Rally Fighter, the Shelby Super Snake, and a 2020 Stingray. But noticeably, of these 10 cars, right now only 5 can be customized, meaning you can't even complete it yet. So even if you complete these 5 in this update magically, you will still have to wait for the other 5 cars to become editable before you can win yourself the RTR Mustang. So I don't think this car will be integrated in the entire American road trip history, unless they reward enough parts to completely elite every single car. I just really hope they up the elite parts given. I'm still at 0% for the second elite customs and for the sports cars. I'm basically still working on the first one. Then jumping all the way to the left, we see a quite familiar car. The Garrett's Roadtrip Barracuda Hemi S from the Duality Cup, which is still running, which is indeed the start of the whole series. Next to that on the right we see a car which many will be glad to see, the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, which will be a gold star and it's already in the 2.13 update, and it's a tier 4 car. But more interesting, there is also a purple star version of the car, the special 50th anniversary edition, and you might think, does that mean another season price and milestone car as well? Well no, because in the codes these do not show up with the names reward and recycle, which normally should stand for a season and milestone prize. So this could be kind of like an Evo Cup, where you have to pull the car, but it's a tier 4 car, so this might be the Made in America free car we receive, and then we have to run it in an Evo Cup to win the 50th anniversary edition. It's a long stretch, but it doesn't sound impossible. Performance wise on these two, they are okay according to the dynos, but not the fastest, but definitely nice. Back to the picture now, and if we skip a car, what you see here is, I know, again another Camaro. But this is a special Ring Brothers Camaro, which was the winner of the Battle of the Builders at SEMA of last year. This car is not in game yet, but from what I've seen so far, this car is mental. It's also called the Valkyrie, well, Valkyria, so slightly different, but if you're curious, definitely check out the video on musclecars.universe. There's just so much to see, the details on this are crazy. The final car on this picture then is another car which is not in the game yet, so not in 2.13, so a car which might come in 14 or 15 or later, and that is a Weaver Custom 1931 Type A Twisted Mistress, and that will be the first hot rod in game. I can't wait to check this engine out in AR fully detailed. But in general, another crazy build that you can only find in America, so perfect for a road trip like this. But that is not all of the cars for this road trip in America. There are at least 5 other ones which we can expect, because they already are in this update. 3 of them are uncovered, 2 of them are still covered, and there is a big surprise in the end that I think many will be excited to see. First up, 2 cars which seem to be the same ones. Yes, a 4th classic Camaro, the Dutch Boys Camaro, and it comes in 2 colors. One in blue and one in red. But to how these will be incorporated in any way, I have honestly zero clue whatsoever. They both are purple stars, so it's not like an Evo Cup, and the code there is again no reward recycle, and it's overall just odd, so I'm a bit confused to what to think about these. I'm not gonna speculate too much about it, but maybe one can be won through a cup, and then the other one can be bought later on for the finale or something? Anyways, performance wise, I think there are some issues with these 2 cars, as the dynos show only like a 9.8, while without a doubt these should be 7.1 to 7.4 second cars. So most likely these will not be used anytime soon in this update, and will be used in future updates with future events with fixes. The same counts as well for the final uncovered car in this update, the Dodge Challenger Havoc by Rides by Cam, and this thing is absolutely crazy. A 2500 brake horsepower Challenger. I'm just baffled, this is a massive unit. This engine here is out of this world. I'm honestly speechless. Again, the dyno is extremely bugged as it shows a stupid slow time, so it will be fixed in the future, and I expect it to be a 6.9 to 7.0 seconds car, potentially even becoming the fastest in the game, you never know. Earlier leaked in-game pictures showed up as available in rare imports. This has now been removed, and as no stars are involved, I can't really see if it's a gold star pullable one, or a prize car purple star, or a flash event, so only time will tell. But it's not done yet. There are 2 more cars, but these are still under covers, and I think these will be big rewards in the end of the entire series. One of them is the yellow cover, and this is the Corvette C8R or the race spec. With the cover being yellow, I can presume we will get the number 3, but you never know what happens. The other cover car I think will turn more heads, the NASCAR ZL1 1LE. Yes, the 2020 Chevrolet NASCAR competitor, and it's pretty sweet that they managed to get a deal with NASCAR on this. As both cars are still covered, no performances are known, so I won't go deeper into detail. Just wait, but if we see how many events we have to build up to the finale, it might take more than 2 to 3 months before we get to these cars. So that is all for all the cars covered in this update based on pictures we found online and in-game models. But in the files there are some more cars as well. 5 days ago, Reddit user Raccoon Concept posted a list of cars which we might expect in the future updates, and there are some interesting ones here. So we already have the 8C Spider, which we already knew, but again there's a mention of the F-Bone Camaro from the 4th movie. For real, this car has been in the files for such a long time, I have my doubts if it even will happen at some point. Then we have the CSR, which we already uncovered, but also the Corvette Grand Sport 2017, but not convertible. So are we gonna get the coupe version as a prestige car maybe at some point? Following that we have the Dutch Boys Camaro, the NASCAR ZL1, the Ring Brothers Camaro, the Hellcat, the Escort, and the Model A by Weaver Customs. We have already covered these. But then there are some new cars. The Aventador SVJ Roadster, which will be a new car because it's a Roadster, we have the coupe in game, and also the Coupe Centenario, which will both be part, most likely, of the long-awaited Lamborghini event. After that, another car we do know, being the McLaren GT, but followed by the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT Black Series, and this is quite interesting. After that, an even bigger car, the Nissan GTR 50. Yes boys, it's coming. And last but not least, the Volkswagen Jetta, but there is no name of the Fast and the Furious, so maybe a stock version? As extra notes, he also added that the AMG NSX might expect an Evo Cup in the next update, or maybe the one after, but also about the Noble M600, which we have heard of quite a while back. I think I have it all covered for today, a lot of cars with a lot of info to process. I'm really looking forward to this update, and for the people still waiting, it should come out somewhere next week, so it's a matter of patience my guys. I'm gonna close off here. If you enjoyed the video, do not hesitate to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. My name is Mille, see you around, and keep racing.
William murder in the beat.